Welcome to my channel. My name is sherazali. I'm a real estate broker here at Suits Realty in New York City, and we help our clients buy, rent, and sell their real estate. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. We're well in. We're halfway through January almost. And let's review 2024. So we'll go over 2024, how the real estate behaved, how interest rates behaved, as well as then I'll give you my predictions on where I think we're going to be in 2025 and whether it might be a good year for you to purchase this year. So we started 2024 off with an average home price in January across America at $402,000. So this was already a jump from 2023, and we had a high of home price in July at $442,000 for an average home. This was probably due to how the interest rates behaved, and we did have that significant dip during the summer of 2024, and this drove the demand for homes around that time period. However, we ended the year last year, give or take around $430,000 on an average home price. So we started at 402, we ended the year at 430, which gives you around a 5% gain in home values across America for the year 2024. Now, this is a surprise because the rates were still around 6 or 7%. However, this tells you that the consumer and the people buying are becoming more immune to these interest rates, especially coming out of that COVID era where they've seen 2, 3, 4, 5% rates. So they're becoming more immune to the higher rates, and people are just like, if they're on the edge, like, let's just secure something now because prices are going up. The average home price going up is not a surprise. If you watch any of my videos, I've explained that in 2024, we were expected to see home price values gain, not lose or stagnate. So they did go up, and we saw most of the increase happen in the major cities where real estate is very stable and there's not a big fluctuation of home price sales in those areas. Now let's discuss mortgage rates. Mortgage rates were on a roller coaster ride throughout the entire year. They hovered anywhere between 6 and 7.5%. And the lowest month that we saw the rates were in August, which was around 6.3%. And again, you can go back to the data where we had the highest average home price in July, which coincides with August being lower rates. And then we slowly started to see those rates rise up, and we started to see the demand in homes also slow down a little bit as the rates went up. But August remained the lowest, 6.3%. And volatility still remained very high throughout the entire year, even with the 3 rate cuts at the end of the year that we witnessed by the Fed. That still drove the rates higher. Experts were predicting the rates were going to drop. However, no, the rates are going to jump. And if you watched any of my previous videos, I discussed this. I said the rate cuts are going to lead to a short-term rise in rates, which did happen. And we're still seeing rates in the 7% today. However, I do believe that the rates will come down. It will take some time. The Fed is expected to cut the rates again this year. So far, they're signaling 2 rate cuts this year. However, that can change, especially with the new administration coming in just a few days. And I believe the investors will then have a better grasp on, okay, where do we see policy going and where do we see inflation and economy, how it is. And based off of that, we'll see the rates either fluctuate upwards or downwards, and we're hoping it goes down. So this way there's a little bit of an ease in the market on the interest rate, giving people a break on their mortgage payments. We did see home inventory peak with the highest in October at 1.21 million homes on the market for sale. But however, housing has recovered slightly, not extremely, but it still remains a shortage of housing, especially in major cities. And we're going to continue to see that this year as well, as less and less homes are on the market for sale, but the demand for buyers, it's still there. So that's a wrap for 2024. I want to look forward into 2025 and where my predictions are and what I think we're going to see in the real estate market this year. So looking forward, 2025, I believe the home prices are going to continue to rise. We're not going to see those crazy jumps, 10, 20, 30%, even if the rates come down to 6%. I don't think we're going to see a crazy rise in home prices. However, we should still continue that same trend of 5%, 4% increase in homes across the nation. And so just know that if you're looking for cheaper homes, you're going to have to hit the market and just negotiate your way to a cheaper home. It's not going to be waiting for the market to crash or waiting for the market to have lower home prices. So again, if you're on the edge of buying, get on the market, get pre-approved, and go shopping and negotiate with your realtor, by yourself, however you're doing it. Negotiate those home prices and you can get a good deal even today. Now, in terms of mortgage rates, I believe this year we're still going to remain between 6 and 7%. We might see a dip a little bit below 6. FHA rates might dip down to 5.5. However, I do think we're still going to be at 6 to 7%, just because even if the new administration comes in and they want to cut regulation, they want to lower inflation, it's going to take some time. It's not going to be like they're in and 30 days later, all of a sudden, we're having 6% interest rates. I do think it's going to take them some time, maybe towards the last quarter of this year, which is October, November, December, we should see those lower rates. However, there's a scale, so if the rates get lower, the home prices are just going to jump up because the demand for those homes are just going to increase. And then you'll have, where right now you might have maybe 10 buyers active in a market, and all of a sudden now you have 50 buyers active in a market competing for the same inventory that's there, because we're still in that dilemma of people not letting go of their 3%, 4% rates, which they shouldn't. Those are much lower rates, and if you have no reason to sell and move into another home, then there's no reason for you to lose your interest rate. So we're going to see these rates stagnate between 6 and 7%. However, maybe we'll see a dip here and there, but don't count on 4% interest rates for 2025. And again, that's just my prediction. Who knows? Something crazy might happen, and then we'll see it. Supply and demand and inventory. I believe we're still going to have a shortage of homes this year as well. Again, due to the fact that people just don't want to sell and lose their current rate and trade up for a 6% rate and a higher priced house. So in order to mitigate this, I see a lot of homeowners instead filing their permits and making extensions in their homes, and to create an additional bedroom or a room for their kid or a recreational room, finishing their basements into full finished spaces, finishing their garages. So if you do that, you can see the trade that, hey, okay, if I sell this and I add more money, then I'll have closing costs. Maybe it's just easier for me to spend that 20 or 30,000 building that additional room, finishing my basement or finishing the garage for additional living space. This way you don't have to move and you can stay where you are and you can continue to reap the benefits of those lower interest rates. Now, however, if you are looking to buy this year, I believe you should jump into the pool and you should look for your homes and just make sure you are negotiating those prices. Every seller is on the market. In New York City, we're seeing an average of 90 days for a house to sit on the market right now, and which gives you a signal. If a house comes on the market, it's there for 60 days, over 60 days, you have a very good chance of negotiating a very good price for yourself on that house. So if it's listed for $900,000, go ahead and put an offer in at $825,000 and then start the conversation, see where the seller goes, see where you go. Keep an eye on your mortgage payments depending on the offer you accept. And if it all makes sense, then you should go for it, because the home prices will go up, rates will come down, and you can always refinance your mortgage in the future. I do also predict that cities will become more popular again. People will move back into the cities. And I see this in my business day to day, where we have here in New York City, we have people moving back from some parts of Jersey, Texas, Long Island. And for some people, it just doesn't make any sense, whether it be work-wise, family-wise, or just location. It was attractive in the beginning that they got a big home for a lower price. However, now after a few years, they realize it doesn't make any sense. The amenities that a city provides just cannot be provided by a suburb. or rural location, so they do move back into the city. And if you can, it'll be attractive again to purchase with a high down payment. We do see a lot of that going on here in New York City, especially with a lot of my buyers. They are doing high down payments, excess of 20% to mitigate these rates, so their mortgage payments are better. And again, they don't lose that money. It's stuck in their house. They just can't access it right away. But the money is there. You don't lose you're not throwing money in the garbage, so you don't lose it. It's just there in your home. And when you refinance, you'll reap those benefits then, because now your payment will be even lower with a lower interest rate. Whereas if you went in with 5% and then you refinance, you'd still have a higher mortgage payment, even if you were to refi with a lower interest rate. So high down payments are going to continue to be popular among buyers, and also the cities are going to become popular, and as well as policies are changing across major cities where the mayors are now taking steps forward on eviction processes for landlords to make multifamily attractive again. They're making policies against squatting and squatter rights, so it's becoming more fair. It will take some time. It's not going to happen immediately, but I do predict by the end of this year we are going to be in a much better position than we were even last year in terms of how housing is done in the major cities. And now, last but not least, is there a good time for you to buy? My answer is always, it depends. So I never answer with a yes or a no. Everybody's situation is different. If you are prepared to buy, the mortgage payments make sense to you. You've discussed it with your realtor. You've had a consultation with your lender, and those numbers meet the goals that you're looking for, and it's in the area that you're looking for, maybe a little bit outside of that area, then you should definitely purchase your property, because the longer you wait, the higher you're going to pay. I always tell my clients, if you were to purchase a property today at $800,000 with today's rates and you refinanced it in the future, you'd have a lower payment. However, if you waited 2 years and you purchased the same property at $900,000 with a lower interest rate by 1% or 1.5%, you'd still end up with the same mortgage payment, but you paid more for the house. So just something for you to consider when you're coming up with your strategy and you're having goals and you're setting your goals on home buying. If you are on the edge of buying, I do think that you should at least explore the market, see what the market has to offer you, see where you can put in your offers, what's going on, because you never know. Something might be very attractive, the price might make sense, and you fall in love with the home. So those are my predictions for 2025. I look forward to this year. I think it's going to be a very busy year in terms of home sales and home buying, and I can't wait. And if you're looking to consult and you're looking to purchase or sell here in New York City, reach out to me. My name is sheraz.ali. You can reach me. I'll leave all my contact information in the description below, along with some links for some data and information on the stuff that I spoke about today. I look forward to seeing you guys again on the next video. Take care.